Nuggets versus T-Wolves game 2 reaction. Say, man, I didn't know them boys combined for 81 points. I was watching it in real time and felt like they were. I remember I had text you. I was like, man, these motherfuckers going back and forth. They going at it. But they combined for 81 points and Jamal Murray. So what's your thoughts on that? That was a vintage shooting guard battle, man.
Yeah. Jamal Murray he was giving Ant front row seat into a master class of I've been here before. I've done this before. But Ant was answering back. He didn't.
Man,
We can say what we want about what Ant did in game one, but game two, Ant responded, and he responded exactly how you supposed to respond. If you got any type of dog in you, when you had a terrible game the game before, the fact that he didn't have no help though,
Thank
that
you.
because we
Go ahead
got
and say it. Cat
we
ain't
got.
do nothing.
I
Go
was
ahead
say
and say it.
we got to look at Cat because Cat's supposed to be the leader of that team.
no, he. Oh, well, I guess he's supposed to be. I guess he's supposed to
Going
be.
into this season, before he got hurt, they already had established this Cat team. The offense gonna run through Cat. That's what they established.
Mm, I
So even
guess.
even though roles have changed, we still need you to show up.
Uh, Especially offensively. I told you what I feel like Cat Rose should be. He should be pick and popping. He should be posting up mismatches. Uh, and I feel like he should be catching shooting. I feel like Cat Rose should be very minimized because his basketball IQ is just not there. You know what I'm saying? You can't put Cat in certain situations and be like, hey, Cat, make a play for yourself or make a play for others. We need Cat to be a play finisher. You get the ball, you shoot it, drive it, or you're posting up a mismatch. Like when it comes to decision making, I don't want Cat making no decisions with the basketball. We seen him at the top of the key, just being so unaware
I think you echo when
of me.
I think it might be Chris.
It's still echoing.
Oh, try it now. Hold on. Let me my.
It's still echoing.
No,
But I feel like when Cat got to make decisions, that's when everything falls apart for Minnesota. It's not really a stupid team. So I feel like Gobert kind of dumb when it comes to basketball IQ. Ant not the smartest player, but he young, but he still ain't got the highest IQ. And Cat is the worst of them all. Like when Cat is a dude that got to do something that's not like when he got to make a decision. We don't need Cat to make decisions. We need Cat to go. We need him to be a play finisher, do as least decision making as possible. That's my biggest problem with the Timberwolves. They put Cat in too many decision making situations, and he's not that. We have seen it over and over again. So I don't know with that, but I feel like it's Ant's team. He's the best player on both ends. Because I don't see him make plays athletically that motherfucker ain't seen. They was compared. You remember they was in the broadcast. They was like, man, some of this stuff is Dwayne Wade like. And I was seeing a lot of that stuff, and it's just like we just need Cat to just be a play finisher, and he got to hit his threes. What was he for three? Let me see. Um, Cat he went 2 for 5 from three. He went 3 for 12 from the field. He did have 12 rebounds, but we need him to shoot better, and we need him to post up mismatches. And he had 5 turnovers. That's unacceptable from the center position, power forward position, whatever you consider him. 5 turnovers. He had he had 2 assists, 5 turnovers. That's too much decision making responsibility for a guy with that low of IQ. And that shit hurt them over and over again. I feel like Rudy Gobert had a good game. And people love to shit on Rudy Gobert, but I feel like he had a good game. He did everything he could do against Jokic, and I feel like he had some pretty good, strong finishes around the rim. I feel like he had some good putbacks. I feel like Rudy Gobert did his job. Uh, I feel like Mike Conley took advantage of Jokic a couple times here and there. He had a lot of opportunist scores. Uh, he had 7 assists. He didn't. He only had one turnover. Uh, Torian Pritz had a couple plays. So when you was talking, Kyle Anderson was pretty good. He had 10 and 7, but he went 4 for 5. So when you was like, shit, somebody need to help, man, it's Cat was the one when I'm because we watched the game. But when I'm looking at the stats, it was Cat. It was Cat. Cat has to be better. And he has to finish plays, and he got to quit turning the ball over. So, how you feel? How you feel about Jamal Murray? I mean, not Jamal Murray, but Michael Porter Jr. not getting enough shots because he had 16 points on 7 shot attempts.
I feel like he got to be going forward. He has to be implemented into the offense
Because he
because, like I was saying earlier, when it all boils down to um, Nuggets' hopes is championship bound. They don't plan on getting out any time before then. So if that's the case, all three of them gonna have to be connecting. So and that includes Michael Porter also getting some touches. I'm not saying he need to get as many shot attempts as Jokic and Murray, but he needs to be getting at least 15 to 18 shots.
I was just gonna
And
say,
Murray and Jokic one of those guys. It may be some games Porter might have more shots in because Jokic really don't have to take a lot of shots. I mean, he one of those guys offensively that he's impactful regardless whether he's scoring or it's him playmaking. So I feel like he's definitely gonna have some games to prove himself and get those touches for sure. So, but no, back to the original point, I feel like he has to be implemented because that's going. I feel like they're at their best when all three of them are equally involved somehow in the offense.
I really, especially in this series, because it is 2 7-footers that Jokic has to battle. So I think, like you said, Michael Porter Jr. needs more shots because everybody in his position on Timberwolves, he can just shoot over them. And he had a stretch where he just was shooting over people. I remember it was like he got caught on a switch with Conley. That boy just kind of hit him with a step back. Instead of like going to the post and taking him inside, they even said it on the broadcast. He just literally hit him with a step back and shot over him. I feel like I think that was like the fourth quarter where Murray and Jokic was off the court, and it was just MPJ and the bench. And MPJ kind of started, he sparked that team. And so when them dudes did come back, they was able to close it out. But I want to see that more. Like, even if you can't get him shots with Murray and Jokic on the court, put him with that bench unit. You already ain't really got a 6-man scorer like that. And I like the Bruce Brown, the KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. I like that lineup. And Jeff Green. That was a good lineup. Defensively, you had some catch and shoot players, and then you can run your offense through MPJ and Aaron Gordon. So I like that bench unit, and I want to see it more because it was just a perfectly built unit around MPJ, his strengths and weaknesses. So that was something I do want to see going forward. Do you think the Timberwolves will make this a series?
I just think
Because
they're
it's
gonna fight.
I just want to see a fight.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think they're
they.
gonna win. I mean, you already know what I said. I was saying that Minnesota could upset them, but that was before I knew old boy had messed his hand up or whatever. But at this point, I mean, we can say we want to about Ant game one. He's still what his third year, so he's still learning. I'm still the thing that I like when I see players. I just like to see growth. You know what I mean? And Ant is one of those players I can see that I'm definitely seeing growth. I mean, he's still learning. I mean, of course, him having Mike Conley, I feel like made a huge difference in a jump that we've seen for him this year, especially since he had to kind of, drag them to the playoffs most of the way himself when Cat was gone. So I just feel like, I mean, I'm not expecting them to win. I definitely feel like this could be another learning experience for Ant. But as far as that team, somebody got to say it. Are they gonna keep trying to run this shit with Cat, or are they gonna try to find a trade partner for him? Because at this point, you done had him with Jimmy, it didn't work. You had him with Wiggins, it didn't work. You got him with
Wiggins
Ant.
everything.
You
But
and now you got him with Ant, and it's like, okay, there's only one common denominator here. There's only one common denominator. So at one point, are they gonna start looking at him and maybe making a move? I mean, at the end of the if you have Ant at this point, I feel like Ant and you get Ant, get him a strong forward that can score and defend,
like a power forward, small forward.
a power forward. Because
Uh,
McDaniels played a three, don't he?
yeah.
So if you have McDaniels in your starting lineup and you go get you a four that can, I mean, if you want to say that McDaniels will be the one having the defense and you want more of a scoring power forward, I'll be okay with that too. But something I don't know. I feel like that the cat experiment has been going on for a while. It's not like he's had bad teammates. It ain't like they bums. But it's just seemed like he's always the common denominator when we talk about that team.
I give you that. But I
He's
feel like
always
I do think he's a special talent when it comes to shooting and scoring from that for his size. And I feel like Chris Finch, his coach, like I said, has to put him in better situations to not make decisions. He got to simplify the game for him, and then I think everything will be all right.
yeah.
Cause
Now
I
if you want to tell me that and you say okay, let's say like tomorrow they get a better coach. Let's say they get if they had Sacramento's coach or if they had the coach from Atlanta. I like him. Is that Dan Snyder? That ain't Dan Snyder. That's the
Quinn Snyder.
Quinn Snyder. Just a coach that I feel like that can put him in better positions and help him make better decisions offensively. Because I really don't know. I mean, because I know a lot of people talk about the head coaches, but a lot of times them assistant coaches make a lot of difference too. And I don't really know their staff like that. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, when we go back and look, Carl Anthony Towns has been the common denominator with this team. They've had other players come in and go, but I
But
don't know, man. We talk about we talk about blowing up all these other teams. I'm just saying. We quick to talk about blow up all this other shit that's going on in the league. Maybe it's time. I'm just saying, maybe it's time.
I feel you, but the only thing with that is you just paid Rudy Gobert and sent all them assets to get him. So you really ain't got no trade capital right there. You just signed Cat to a major extension. And my thing is, you kind of already kind of committed to them dudes. And then with Cat, like, I don't think he's a bad player. I think you just have to establish it's Anthony Edwards' team. Shit go run through him. He's the best player. And you shift. Because they have a problem with scoring with no Cat. Like, if Cat don't play, they don't struggle to score. And I feel like you do need that scoring punch that Cat brings. So
So
you just got to find a way as a coach, as an organization, to shift the role dynamic because we know Rudy Gobert, we know Conley, we know they situation, Jaden McDaniels, we know exactly what they gonna bring, and we know exactly what their roles are. But when we look at Ant and Cat, we like who's the number one, who's the number two, who's gonna take these shots. I feel like we're seeing now just naturally that it's
I
Anthony Edwards.
mean, I don't really. At the same time, I kind of feel like it really depends on matchups too. So like with this Denver Nuggets team, um, I kind of feel like if I'm just talking about this matchup, I feel like that. I feel like Ant can stay a little bit more consistent. I don't think Cat is going to be doing as bad on offense as far as scoring goes, but I do feel like as far as them scoring, it comes down to who just has the better matchup. But I think I definitely need to see Cat kind of get in Jokic's way a little more because I feel like some of them dimes he was just getting off, like because I didn't watch the game at the time. I had to go back and watch it, but it just seemed like some of them dimes were just too easy. He was getting on switches and getting little people on them and just kicking it to niggas off cuts. Like they just made it way too easy. Like, and even still, when I watched that game, I'm like, bruh, it's the shit that Ray said is still coming into fruition. And when Jamal Murray has a good game,
Yeah,
Jokic is able to do his thing and just sit there. He doesn't have to worry about scoring. Like he definitely can. I mean, I saw him backing people down at the bucket and everything like that. He can definitely do his thing. But when you got your second co-star playing like a one, giving you 40 because you're drawing so much attention, that's a perfect scenario. All I have to do is facilitate.
man. Say, man, the Nuggets are a wing away from being a dynasty. KCP once again went 3 for 10, 8 points, and just was out there once again. But everything else for the Nuggets, it's there. But I just feel like, man, when it comes to the Cat situation, Ray, how you feel about the Cat situation? Do you think they need to look to move him, or do you think they need to work with his skills and minimize his role?
Or do you feel like it's coaching? Because I mean, at this point, just what do you feel needs? Because I mean, like I said, DJ quick, DJ quick to telling it blow that shit up. And but with this, I just feel like I ain't necessarily saying blow it up, but maybe you see what you can get for Cat. Maybe see you can get a player, some picks, somebody that can fit with if you want to make Ant your number one option, or is it a coaching thing? Is it a scheme thing? What is it?
I think Cat is a talented enough offensive player to where he can, like DJ was saying, um, just kind of changing up the play style a little bit. Go to a pick and popper, go to a catch and shoot guy on a three because I mean he's a knockdown shooter out there. I don't think the best thing. I think that's a last resort right now. To just
To
blow up
blow
the
it
whole
up.
operation. I don't think they're looking at towards that option as a front runner. But I think it's just it's something that we all witnessed when Cat went down that Ant can um be the number one guy.
Yeah.
And when he was the number one guy, I mean they got to the play in, so and now they in the playoffs. So I feel like it's just more so about them switching roles more so than um looking for trade options for Cat because let's say what's an ideal trade that you would look at for Cat?
Because he was saying bring in a bigger forward that probably can score and play defense. But I feel like that shit's so
And who is that?
hard.
Every big forward you can think of playing a vital piece on a playoff team right now.
You would say would Christian Wood be a better? Would that be a better player than Cat? Just because Christian Wood gonna be
Then
just
you,
efficient and solid. And
I don't think that's the answer. He can't stay
Jeremy
on the court.
Jeremy Grant gonna be a free agent. You're like,
Uh,
or do you go guard because you do got Nas Reed and go get you like a guard and bring and pair him with Ant? Like I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Chris. It's a hard thing to see because and then what is Cat's value? What are people willing to give up for a Cat? They see what we see. Shit, they get paid to watch and evaluate. You think one
who was there who said before the season they did the GMs did a poll and Cat was one of the people that they said they had started a franchise with? Who said that?
Whoa, I think that was back when his rookie year though. That was like early on in his career though, right? I think I remember what you're talking about. That was way early in his career. That was
No,
early
I
in his
thought one of
career.
y'all had said something about that the other episode.
I don't know, but I remember they had a poll like that, but that was early in his career when we didn't know he wasn't gonna get smarter.